Hey everyone, it's Stasha Erickson. I hope you're all doing well today. It is Saturday, September 24th of 2016. I hope you're all doing well today. Well, look, the world is still here. I told you guys this last year and the year before and this year too. The world is never going to end. And especially it's never going to end on September 23rd. So, we made it again. I get so annoyed with all the people on YouTube predicting the end of the world. You guys have got to stop doing that. These are the same people who say how powerful they are and how we create our own reality, yet they constantly focus on the end coming. Many of these people I see on YouTube, they like want the end to come. It's so scary and so crazy. That is not what our Heavenly Father wants for us. He's not going to keep destroying His creation. We just got to learn our lessons, people. All right, so I'm here for another video today about the Mandela effect. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for all of your emails and feedback. I've been receiving emails from all of you guys over the past 2 weeks, and I'm compiling them all into a big document. And based on each theme and each Mandela effect that I go over in the book, I'm going to feature some of your comments, some of your letters, et cetera, in the book. Now, I haven't gotten to that stage yet. I had 67 pages of comments, just comments, within 1 week of having my book, my video up before I had to put the comments in disable mode because I got so many trolls. But in 1 week, I received 67 pages of comments. So this book is not going to be a quick thing to put together. It's going to take a while. I'm still receiving messages from people telling me, don't write that book, don't write that book. And the more you guys do that, it only makes me want to write the book more. So you can keep those emails coming, tell me don't write the book, but it literally just makes me want to write it more because I feel like I'm really onto something here. So I just wanted to make that announcement that this book is not going to be done quickly. It's going to take a long time. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to hurry and get it out there when we're still figuring out what's going on. And I believe that every single day there are new effects that change. There's so many that I've heard of that I've added to this list. I just haven't gotten to that part of the list yet to share them with you guys. But I'm noticing things every day. I have people sending me very personal stories with their effects that have literally nothing to do with most of what people on the internet have talked about. So this is definitely not an open and shut case. No one can say, oh, it's just a psyop. No one can say it's just this or just that. There's multiple things going on here. And, this term Mandela effect was actually coined way back in like 2010 or something like that. So it's nothing brand new. And I still think there's still a lot to learn. So that's why I'm going to continue to make these videos and organize the book kind of section by section by section. Also, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been reaching out to me on Fiverr and on Etsy for readings. As of yesterday, the 23rd, I closed down my Etsy shop permanently. I will not be doing readings or animal communication sessions or past life readings on Etsy anymore. Everything is now in the shopping cart shop web store of my website. So just go to stashaerickson.com. I now only have 4 services you can choose from. That's an email reading, a video reading, a past life reading, or an animal communication session. As you guys know, I do work also with animals, healing them, doing telepathic work, guiding people who have animals that need to bridge the gap. Maybe their animal has been rescued or something like that, and they've been through some abuse. So this is another thing that I offer as well, and I have that service now on my website. So just go to stashaerickson.com if you feel like you want to connect with me. I've been really busy over the past week. I have, each day I have anywhere from like 10 to 15 readings that I'm doing. So for everyone who has ordered and haven't received their reading yet, please just be patient with me. This work, I never rush work for people, and I always connect 100% fully and completely with God, with the Holy Spirit, to bring you your information. I still have a lot of people emailing me saying, you're a witch, you're a psychic, you're a medium, and how can you believe in God? I'm so past explaining that. You guys can just go back through my channel. It is absolutely possible to have a very strong relationship and friendship with God and also have psychic abilities. The word psychic, again, it's a very dirty word for some reason to people, but it's not even psychic. Every human being has extrasensory capabilities. If we just tapped into them like we do when we spend 20 hours at the gym every week, if you work the same muscles in your mind and your spirit and your heart, they'll work just like physical muscles. Okay? I've just been flexing them for a long time, so it's easier for me. But every single reading I do comes from God. I'm a messenger of Him. Every single healing, anything that I do, I'm just a messenger of God's work. So just have to say that again. Okay. Now, let's get into the goods of the day. Oh yeah, and also, anybody who pops over to my website, I have a coupon going in the store from now until October 31st. The coupon code is the word FALL15, FALL15, all in caps. And you get 15% off of your reading with me for the month till the end of October, October 31st. I'm leaving for California in 2 weeks, so get the readings while you can, because then I tend to go in vacation mode. Okay, guys, let us get now to the goods. I'm sorry that I do my announcements at the beginning of the video, and I know that annoys people, but it's easier for me to just say what I have to say first and then get into the goods. So I hope that makes sense. I had a lot of people complaining that I talk too much, and sorry, guys, that's what YouTube is for. Okay, so now we're going to get to part 6 of my Mandela Effect series. Now, I'm going alphabetically. Now, remember, so far in the book, I've only gone over the introduction that my client sent to me, how this all started, how I first found out about the Mandela Effect. Then I go into the definitions of the Mandela Effect. Then I go into alphabetical order of Mandela Effect changes. Now, the first one we went through last week was anatomical changes. People talked about their heart, their stomach, their rib cage, their skull, many things that they felt were different. And I got a lot of feedback from all of you about that, so thank you very much for your feedback. Okay, so now today's topic is going to be astronomical changes. And boy, has there been a lot. Now, the first astrological change that I noticed is the one that I mentioned to you guys before. The sign of Capricorn, from what I know, and from what most people that I know have always remembered, is that Capricorn is a mountain goat. He's climbing up the mountain every time you see him. You know, he's a goat with legs and horns. Well, ever since the Mandela effect has become a thing, people have been looking at their horoscope and realizing that the Capricorn mountain goat has now turned into something known as a Capricorn Sea Goat. And there's many mythological creatures I've heard about, mermaids and unicorns and all this stuff. I have never heard of a sea goat in my entire life. And I was blown away. I thought it was a hoax, and then I was blown away to find this book that I showed you guys not so long ago, an astrology book that my husband picked for me in California when we were there with my family this summer. And at the front page of it, what do we have right here up on the top? Capricorn Sea Goat. Okay? The only thing I think about when I think about how that can change from a mountain goat to a sea goat is I think about the beast out of the sea, you know? So that's the thing. If you were a Capricorn, do you remember it being a mountain goat or a sea goat? I've heard from people that it could be both ways, but I never recall ever seeing a sea goat, just in my entire life, let alone representing Capricorn. I've never heard of that mythological creature. So that one blows my mind. Okay, now the next part of the astronomical changes is the sun. Now there's another guy who's been making Mandela effect videos, and I'm sorry I have not gotten back to you. I've commented on a few of your videos, but you've actually sent me a lot of feedback. And his channel is Life Matrix, and he's living in Southern California near where my family lives. That's where my hometown. That's why I'm going there all the time. And he had noticed that the sun had been really crazy and changing and stuff like that. And he was like, you should just go out and take a picture of the sun every day. So I've been doing that, and I have a little collection of sun pics, and perhaps I will show you guys in a little medley some photos in this video as well. But many changes with the sun. People are saying it's now setting in the northwest, it's setting in a different spot. Not only that, it's just looking really crazy. People used to remember the sun being golden, and now it's pure white. I've always been obsessed with taking pictures of the sun and clouds for a very long time. Look through my Instagram, it's just nothing but clouds when I'm in Norway. And I know that the skies have changed. The clouds don't look like clouds anymore. They look like sky poop. I don't even know how to describe it. It's weird. But the sun looks different. Now, I saw this crazy documentary with a scientist talking about Nikola Tesla's inventions. Back in the 40s, apparently, Tesla, I don't know that he created this, but he had like created the technology that helped the government to create this. But they created an artificial sun. And NASA owned the patent to this artificial sun. I cannot recall where I saw this video, but I saw it not so long ago, and it was talking about, yes, NASA have a patent on a fake sun. The fake sun is a rotating disk that is on a satellite. Now, this satellite goes all around the world, or I'm sorry, around a specific area, and you can't see the back of it because it's like a spinning satellite. And on the front of the satellite is a big, like, flashlight type of thing. It's a big bulb that sends out lumens out to a certain distance. Since it was like 100,000 feet of lumen over here and over there. Well, apparently every single city in the world, not just state, but every single city in the world has a similar pre-man-made sun in their area. I know, this is like the Truman Show coming to life or something like that. Now, again, I didn't make this up, but NASA have a patent on an artificial sun. Now, we don't know that they've ever used it, but we know that they have the patent. And this is actually available on the nasa.gov website. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, please leave it in the comments below. Oh, shoot, I don't have comments on anymore. Just send me a comment on the blog. Sorry, on my website, I have a blog. Let me know if you can find the patent for this artificial sun. I'm definitely not making this up, but it is a thing. It was created by NASA. I believe it was created like in the 60s, 1961 or 67. But just do a little research. Just Google, does NASA have a patent on a fake sun? You'll find it. You'll be guided to it. So a lot of people think that the sun is like a big old flashlight now, big old shining light. It's not what it used to be. It doesn't have the same heat. It doesn't have the same feeling. People who are farming and have little like gardens and outdoor farms and stuff are saying their crops don't even taste the same. They don't look the same. I had an organic garden for a whole year in Ireland up until last summer, so I don't have one now in Norway. But I know that I would have seen the changes if it had happened. If I noticed this a year ago in Ireland, I would have noticed the changes, but now I haven't noticed them. So anyhow, something's up with the sun, and I definitely have to include that in the book. So I'd love to hear all of your feedback, again, about the sun, changes, photographs that you have, anything like that. Please send them to my email address, stashaerickson@gmail.com, or put it in the comment section of the blog section of this video on my website. Okay, moving on. Now this one is super weird. Now if you go to a stellarium and you look up, if you download a stellarium on your phone or whatever, and you look to see where you're located, where we are located in the galaxy, from what most scientists, and I'm talking scientists here that I've heard this from, they remember us being located in the Sagittarius arm of the Kuiper Belt or Kuiper Belt, however you pronounce it, the Milky Way galaxy. We used to be located near the Sagittarius arm. Now, when you go on a stellarium and you look to see where we are located in the Milky Way, we are located in the Orion arm. Okay? So the Sagittarius arm was now in the Orion spur, which is much closer to the galaxy core. So now we're closer to the galaxy core. Now this might be really over the heads of a lot of people who don't understand the scientific aspect of things, so don't let that scare you. But if you were in school, we all had science class and they told us we were in the Sagittarius arm. I remember this, you know. My son, or sorry, my daughter is a Sagittarius, but that's what I'm going to get to in a minute. So that the astrology signs have changed too. Oh, so much to get to in one video. Okay, now let me just move on. But we've definitely moved our place in the galaxy. Now, number 4, the clouds, which I vaguely mentioned earlier. The clouds are way too various and they're way too low. There's constant changes from a hazy look to blanket-like coverings all over the sky. Sometimes I look out and there are these little tiny, like perfectly man-made clouds, or it's this weird blanket that almost looks like a bunch of cotton that's just been rolled out. It's kind of like almost waves up in the horizon. Clouds don't look like clouds anymore. What's up with that? A lot of it can have to do with chemical spraying, chemtrailing, and stuff like this. But sometimes people just say they just straight up look fake. So what's going on with the clouds, man? Something's up. Another thing that I noticed when I was looking at this book about the astrology signs, and I did mention this a little bit vaguely before, and that is that the constellation of Virgo is also now a water bearer. Now, if anybody remembers Virgo, she's the Virgin. She's known for the bountiful, plentiful harvest, okay? Now, when you look at Virgo, she's here. It's really hard with my terrible laptop. Eventually, I'll get a good camera, you guys, and everyone's like, your videos, oh. I do my best, you know. I gotta raise a family and travel all over the world. Someday I'll have money for a good camera, but this is how it's gonna have to be for now. Okay, here is the Virgo. What is she doing? She's pouring out water. She never had water before. She's the harvest girl. Everybody knows that. She has a cornucopia, and it's full of fruits and vegetables and whatnot. So I only noticed it because that's my sign. Or is it? That's what we're going to get to in a minute. Okay, so who's a Virgo? Who remembers the Virgo carrying water? That never happened before. Earth sign, water sign, two totally different things. Virgo is the earth. So why would she have water? Just weird. Now, on to the astrology thing that I was mentioning earlier. NASA has changed our astrology signs after 2,000 years. Now, if you've watched my videos since the beginning of this channel, since 2012, you know that I've talked about the 13th sign. Many people have never heard about the 13th sign. They always thought we just had 12. But years ago, I ran across a teacher on YouTube named Imhotep, and he has a sign called YouTube channel called 13 Signs Astrology. I was really fascinated by the 13th sign because it fell within my daughter's birthday. Her birthday is in the first week of December, and this is when it falls in to the 13th sign. So everybody that is a Sagittarius is like now a Scorpio, and everybody that was a Sagittarius is now the 13th sign. And the 13th sign is known as Ophiuchus. He's also been known as like the serpent god. Many representations, he's kind of in a nutshell represented like Satan. But this is not something new. I've known about the 13th sign for at least 4 or 5 years now, maybe 6 years. But did you know that that NASA officially changed it? Probably not. It's been a thing for a long time, but apparently they went and they officially changed it for the first time in 2,000 years. And I have an article all about it. If you just Google, your astrological sign has shifted, NASA updated the zodiac signs for the first time in 2,000 years. This article was written on September 2nd of 2016, meaning that they just changed our signs to 13 signs within the past 2 weeks. Okay? Do the research. Okay. So whatever sign you thought you were, you probably aren't anymore. It now says, all these years I thought I was a Virgo, now it tells me I'm a Leo. Now I'm a Leo? What the heck? My husband, he's a Cancer still. His birthday didn't change for some reason. He's still a Cancer. or his sign didn't change, but some people did. Like, why are they picking on Sagittarius and Virgo here? And Capricorn. I feel like we're being singled out. Okay, the other thing many people have mentioned is that the stars have changed. They're in different locations. This goes a lot to where we are in the galaxy. I used to remember to be able to look out and see Arcturus almost every night. It's a bright orange planet that like blinks and it changes from red and blue, and it's crazy. You can't miss this planet. I haven't seen Arcturus for at least a month. I don't know where it is. I can't find the North Star. I live in Norway. We used to live near the North Pole. We could see Polaris, the North Star. It's gone. Can't see anything. At night, it's literally just black out there. Most nights, I don't even see the moon anymore. So, something's up with our sky and our stars. The other thing a lot of people have mentioned is that the moon is moving more than it used to. From what I remember, the moon was fixed. That moon didn't go anywhere. It just stayed there. That's what made it such an anomaly, and why many people believe the moon is some type of a government military base, because it looks like it's just been placed there. And still, no one can ever see to the dark side of the moon, which is very mysterious. So what's up with that? And still, why have we only been to the moon once, but we've spent billions and trillions of dollars on the CERN Large Hadron Collider? We're still trying to find the God particle, but we haven't gone back to the moon. Something's fishy about that, y'all. And it's just weird. It's just super weird. Okay, now, the other thing on that note, speaking of scientific missions, is how many Apollo missions do you guys remember there being? Last time I was checked, there was like 1 million Apollo missions. It was like 13, 14, 15. Why have we had so many Apollo missions when we've only been to the moon once, apparently? I just want to know what NASA's doing with all their money. I talked about this in my book, Diary of an Asset, and what are they doing? Yeah. So that was 9 things that I noticed. I really was trying to make these into 5, but I think there's just too much, and maybe this book's just going to be super long and take me a really long time to get it done, but it's going to be really thorough and accurate. Okay, I'll just read you a little bit of this article about the astrological signs being changed, and then I will sign off. September 2nd, 2016. The stars are at a database of information, from overcoming struggles to forming healthy relationships to improving your character, and so much more. This knowledge has been used since ancient times in various cultures, and now it has been passed on to you. And here we go. The stars have shifted due to the wobbling effect of the Earth caused by the sun and the moon over the last 2,000 or 3,000 years. They're blaming it on the sun and the moon. The sky is different than what the ancient astrologers viewed, and so now the constellations are off by about a month. Therefore, 86% of people are living under the wrong horoscope. Okay, so this is what they say is the new horoscope. Here we go. I'll give this to you guys before we leave then. Presenting all the new horoscopes. Capricorn, January 20th through February 16th. Aquarius, February 16th through March 11th. Pisces, March 11th through April 18th. Aries, April 18th through May 13th. Weird. April 18th, through May 13th. Super weird. This means both of my parents' signs changed too. Okay. Taurus, May 13th through June 21st. Gemini, June 21st through July 20th. Cancer, July 20th through August 10th. Leo, August 10th through September 16th. That even makes my sister a Leo, and she was a Virgo too. This is so weird. Virgo is now September 16th through October 30th. So apparently now we're in Virgo right now. And Libra, October 30th through November 23rd. Scorpio, November 23rd through the 29th. So Scorpio gets 1 week? What? This is a really weird list. Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, November 29th through December 17th. And now Sagittarius is December 17th through January 20th. What happened to Scorpio? They only get a week. And again, my son was a Scorpio, and now he's not, apparently. So I knew about the 13th sign, but I didn't know that everything else shifted that much more too. This is crazy. You can Google it yourself. I'm definitely not making this up. And it says, check that list again. This will blow your mind. There are 13 zodiac signs. Actually, that's not a new revelation because ancient Babylonian astrologers discovered these 13 constellations, yet they omitted Ophiuchus so the signs would be divided equally into 12 due to the 360-degree path of the sun. Well, this tells us one thing: government conspiracies are not a new phenomenon. No, 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 it's not. And I'll just tell you a little bit about Ophiuchus now, and you can see why it's a little bit scary. Ophiuchus, the 13th sign. The Ophiuchus constellation features a man grasping a snake and is more commonly known as Serpentarius, the serpent holder. This is what I told you guys earlier. This sign has been adapted into many ancient cultures, but in essence, it is the same being. What did I say earlier? They like depict him like a Satan figure. In Greek mythology, Ophiuchus is identified as being Asclepius, the healer and son of Apollo. Asclepius held the power to resurrect the dead and enraged Hades and persuaded Zeus to assassinate unenraged Hades persuaded Zeus to assassinate Asclepius with a lightning bolt. I keep talking about lightning a lot too. It's so weird that's always coming up. And in death, Asclepius was placed as a constellation in the stars. So after he was hit with a lightning bolt, there he went up into the sky. Now in Sumerian belief, this figure was known as the god Enki. What was Enki? The water bear, the water god. Do you see how all this stuff is not an accident? So the god in Sumeria was known as Enki. The Egyptians recognized the sign to be a man named Imhotep. Like I mentioned earlier, the person who told me about it was known as Ra Imhotep, who lived in Egypt around the 27th century BCE. In the Bible, these attributes belong to the Hebrew man Joseph, son of the forefather Jacob. Imhotep is the Egyptian name for Joseph. So just wrap your head around all that for a minute. This is really deep. Joseph, Serpentaris. You see the connections. I haven't even gotten to the Bible stuff really yet because it's so intense. I've been finding some really weird stuff in the Bible again. Almost daily, I've seen people posting videos with new stuff. It's not just the lion and the lamb being mixed up. It's not just the Lord's Prayer being mixed up. There's like double entendres. There's grammar that has been incorrected. There's a really great woman on here that breaks down the Bible daily, and she's called Extol Yeshua something. I'm sorry, I can't remember her YouTube channel. But she had a video out yesterday that showed that multiple verses in the Bible had the words that in them. That, like a double entendre. It just didn't even make sense. I'll give you the example really quick, just to give you guys a little homework to check up on in your downtime. Numbers chapter 6 verses 21, 2 Kings chapter 23 verse 17, Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 36. It goes on and on and on, and you will see the words that next to each other. So it would be like, oh, the guy in the wood took that thing with him. Or the woman on the tree, she ate that apple. Why would that be in a book? Why would that be in multiple Bibles? And why would that ever be translated, especially when we know now that Queen Elizabeth I had commissioned to have this Bible rewritten and retranslated? Now, English grammar is one of the most proper grammar that you could possibly try to learn from. Would they not have made sure that every single word in those King James Bibles were perfect? How does the word that ever work in a sentence? So I don't know how deep this goes. I don't want to spend every day reading the Bible to see what's wrong with it. I just want to keep sharing this information as it comes my way, and I still don't know what's going on. I think it's multiple things. I think it's a combination of things. I think if I say ever that I know what's going on, I'd be lying. But definitely something's going on. Every day I'm receiving numerous emails from you guys with more feedback about stuff that I have not heard about. So please keep it coming if you trust me, if you realize that my intention to create this book is to help everybody and nothing else. And I just, I still keep seeing like other Mandela effect people attacking other Mandela effect people, telling people that their effects or their memories are right or wrong, or that they are or aren't Mandela effects. And nobody has the right to say stuff like that, you guys. We're all going through a different situation and experience. So just because it hasn't been proven by a certain percentage of people doesn't make it not a Mandela effect. I remember Australia being on the northwest. I'm sorry, I remember New Zealand being northwest of Australia, and now it's southeast or whatever, and everyone is telling me, oh, it was never northwest. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was never southeast. It doesn't matter. That was a really bad example, just a tiny one. But I'm just trying to say to you is each and every person on this planet may have different memories right now, and that's also part of this Mandela effect. So rather than attacking people and saying that people are on the wrong path or confused or they don't know what they're doing, just hear them out, man. It only takes a minute to just let somebody talk. Sometimes people just need to talk to somebody and get stuff off their chest. Stop being so judgy, people. There's only one judge that matters, and he's already doing his job, so we don't have to do it for him, okay? All right, guys, I love you ever so much. Please check out my website, stashaerickson.com. There's a new shop section with a shopping cart in there. You can get readings from me from a tenner up to $25. Very reasonable. And I'll help you guys as often as I can for as long as I can, and I'll keep working on this book. I would love to hear your feedback about the astronomical changes. If you have any more that you'd like to add, if you have any personal stories, if you have residual evidence of your old sign that's changed, whatever. Definitely would love to hear from you guys. Okay, I hope you're all doing well, and I will be back with part 7 when the time is right. Okay? Ha det bra from Norge! Bye-bye!